Over 2 million people live in Riverside County without a local news perspective. Until now. Spirit of Innovation, bringing you the need-to-know and good-to-know local regional county news, creating community and inspiration for business and residents.
Hello, I'm Gabriela Ventura with Spirit of Innovation, and welcome to another Spirit Special Edition. These short updates keep you in the know until the entire #JDS family, including our job training crew, are back to working in the studio. In this episode, we will highlight the need-to-know information, cover the latest COVID-19 related news, we will take a look at how the arts are thriving in Riverside County, and share some good-to-know happenings for Labor Day weekend. On Friday, Governor Newsom announced that California is no longer on a watch list. Instead, counties will move through a 4-tier system. The tier system is divided by colors, representing the number of new cases and percentage of positivity. For example, yellow is minimal and purple means there is a widespread amount of cases. Riverside County falls into the purple category, meaning most non-essential indoor operations are closed. However, in Riverside County, malls can reopen at 25% capacity, and starting today, hair salons and barbershops can reopen. Keep wearing those masks, Riverside County. As we continue in the right direction, St. John's School in Hemet and Cornerstone Christian in Wildomar are 2 out of the 14 schools in Riverside County that submitted waivers. Now, these 2 private schools have been approved for in-person education and will resume regular classes on September 1st. California also okayed kids with special needs to return back to school. This includes students who are subject to abuse and neglect, as well as those who are homeless. The classroom would be limited to 14 students, and the goal in bringing this population back is to ensure the proper support and therapy needed are provided. Otherwise, all other schools throughout the county are closed for in-person instruction. Now, back in February, we ran a story about Riverside County's updating voting machines and ballot counting process. With Election Day only 63 days away, November 3rd is right around the corner, and this information is more timely than ever. We take a look at what you can expect when you go to the polls, as well as how our votes are tallied and kept secure.
Riverside County's Registrar's Office is committed to providing a smooth voting process in 2020 and has made a substantial investment in proprietary equipment to ensure votes are recorded accurately and efficiently.
Previously, we were using technology that was developed in the late 90s, so we're on to more updated technology that's more secure, and it is a lot more efficient. All voting technology has to be certified at the federal level and then certified at the state level in order to be purchased by counties.
In February 2019, Secretary of State Alex Padilla directed Riverside County and others to replace their voting machines as they failed to pass the latest security standards. To comply, the county leased 700 ICX voting machines at a cost of approximately $9 million, with $6 million provided by the state.
These machines are secure. They're not connected to the internet in any way. They don't record votes. They are a ballot marking device. You select your choices on the touchscreen, and then the ballot prints out on a printer next to it, and then that ballot is dropped into a ballot box, and that's what gets counted.
In prior years, the stringent certification requirements caused a shortage of voting machines, and county election officials had no choice but to expand the use of the vote-by-mail ballots, which are now a critical part of Riverside County's election system.
75% of Riverside County already votes by mail, so you could get your ballot about 29 days before the election, study your material, and then vote it at your own convenience. So it used to be that you had to pay your own postage on your vote-by-mail ballot, but the law changed, and so now all vote-by-mail voters receive a postage-paid envelope, and you have options for returning it. You can put it back in the mail, you can go to drop-off centers, or you could go to your polling place on Election Day and drop it off that way.
Those who choose to cast their ballots at the polls on voting day are not required to use the new machines.
up to the voter if they want to use the unit or if they would just want a standard paper ballot. If they're vision impaired, then they would just let the poll workers know that they would want to listen to their ballot. The poll worker would activate an audio session on the system, and we have headphones and a audio tactile interface, which is basically a remote that has Braille on it.
Previously, the county's outdated ballot counting equipment caused the total votes cast in the November 2018 election to take over a month to tally. New technology increases vote counting from 20,000 vote by mail ballots a day to 80,000 a day.
All the ballots are counted at the Registrar of Voters office. We have 10 high-speed scanners that will then start reading those ballots, and then we will produce results every hour.
When you vote in November, whether it's using a mail-in ballot or via a new voting machine, know that the county is working hard to provide a smooth voting process for all.
Be sure to take advantage of our new voting technology and make sure your voice is heard on November 3rd. Here are a few more things you need to know to ensure that your vote is counted. First, if you're wondering if you're currently registered, you can verify your status at voterstatus.sos.ca.gov. And if you're not registered, go to register at vote.ca.gov and get it done. To avoid long lines on November 3rd, officials are recommending to vote early, either in person or via mail. Each eligible registered voter will receive a ballot by mail starting October 5th. Your vote by mail ballots can be returned at one of the 80 secure ballot drop-off locations that will be available starting October 5th, or you can mail them in and no postage is required. If you prefer to vote in person, voter assistance centers located throughout Riverside County will be open starting October 31st through November 3rd. In order to control crowding, there will be one in-person polling place per 10,000 registered voters, so your usual voting location might have changed. Be sure to confirm your polling place at voteinfo.net on September 24th. They will post a list of mail-in ballot drop-off and in-person voting locations. Did you know that you can track your ballot by registering at where'smyballot.sos.ca.gov? The system will alert you once it's been received by the Registrar of Voters. Another need to know that's on a lot of people's minds is wildfires. California is experiencing a great deal of devastation during this fire season. Last February was the driest month since the 1850s. Even with a healthy amount of rainfall in the spring, it didn't seem to make a difference. In Northern California alone, there have been over 1.35 million acres burned. And just because Riverside County has remained safe thus far, it doesn't mean we shouldn't be careful. And according to the Emergency Management Department, long-term prevention and protection steps help lessen the impact of the hazard. Did you know that the biggest culprit of wildfires is trash burning? The County of Riverside has banned outdoor burning, which includes campfires, agricultural burning, cooking fires, and warming fires. Also, if you see something, say something. Call 911 or your local fire department if you see an unintended fire. Do not throw lit cigarettes out your moving car. Carelessly flicking can have major repercussions. Use caution when using flammable liquids, and lastly, keep your yard clear of debris. Just this year, to help with the fire mitigation plan, Riverside County Fire Department, in cooperation with CAL FIRE, is sending out notices to abate throughout the year, instead of just in the spring. It is crucial you act immediately if you receive a notice. Negligent property owners will be held responsible for costs associated with fire suppression. Now for a spotlight on the arts industry. Performing arts like music and theater have taken a hit due to social distancing guidelines. Today, we are spotlighting local artists to find out how the pandemic has impacted the world of fine arts in Riverside County.
Numerous notable artists claim roots in Riverside County, including the late watercolor master and architect Don O'Neill, best known for his depictions of historic downtown Riverside. Jeff Soto, who studied at Riverside City College and is famous for his surrealistic pop art, as well as Temecula resident Stan Sakai, who writes and illustrates the award-winning comic series Usagi Yoshinbo and recently inked a deal with Netflix.
When did you first create the character Miyamoto Usagi, and what inspired you?
Well, Usagi was first published in 1984, but I really created the character in about 1982. There was a old Japanese theater just down the street from where I live called the Kapahulu Theater, and they would show these samurai movies every week. There was one series about Miyamoto Musashi, who was a real samurai living in the early 17th century Japan, and he was fascinating. I also grew up reading comic books. And I wanted to create a comic book or a comic book character inspired by the life of Musashi.
Which artist would you say influenced you?
The neat thing about my profession and what I do is I've gotten to meet my heroes. I knew Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, who he created much of the Marvel Universe. I worked with Stan for about 25 years. Another big influence was Sergio Aragonés, with whom I've been working with on Brew the Wanderer.
Voted as one of the top 100 best comic book characters of all time, Usagi Yojimbo has earned international recognition and won a number of awards.
How would you explain the success of Usagi Yojimbo?
It's this fascination I have that I'm hopefully able to convey to the readers. And they're not interested just only in my characters, but also entire history and culture that his adventure takes place in.
As a writer and artist, how has isolation due to the pandemic affected your creativity, if it has?
It has not affected it at all. I still work at home. I have my studio here. However, it has affected the publishing. Usagi comics and books have not been published for quite a while, but now because the pandemic is slowly lifting, publishers are now publishing new stories again. The entire comic book industry was at a standstill for a while.
What's next for Stan Sakai and Miyamoto Usagi?
Well, let's see now. We just, the books still keep coming out. And I think the big news is the Netflix series. It was just announced that Usagi will have a TV series. Now, Usagi's been on TV before. He's been a secondary character or guest starring character in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV series and the toy line. This time, Usagi will have his very own series. However, it's not the traditional Usagi. It's a descendant of his. And the series will be called, Neo Samurai, the Chronicles of Usagi Yojimbo. It's an exciting process. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, congratulations. I can't wait to see it.
While COVID-19 has caused the temporary closure of museums, there is no shortage of immersive art experiences to be found online. Google Arts and Culture is currently showing Riverside Art Museum's Myth and Mirage, and UC Riverside invites you to explore its exhibitions with the launch of Virtual UCR Arts. Some outside exhibitions are also resuming. Starting next week, Temecula Valley Museum and Sam Hicks Monument Park will feature the works of 3 local artists, including award winner Lisa Cabrera. Thanks, Lisa, for sharing some highlights from your art exhibit. What can you tell us about this beautiful piece?
Thank you, Gabriella. This piece is called Rediscovering the Love. It has to do with the Day of the Dead theme. Archaeologists digging like they do and then discovering skeletons like they typically would on an excavation and finding that there's love there. There's Day of the Dead. There's remembrance. That's what this piece is about.
Tell us a little bit more about your other pieces in the exhibit.
They're going to also be Day of the Dead themed. A lot of couples, a lot of people with hearts, well, skeletons with hearts rather, bringing a real contemporary kind of Day of the Dead feel to things. There's just lots of color, lots of love, lots of remembrance in those pieces.
Now, Day of the Dead seems to be an inspiration of yours. So where did this all come from, stem from?
Oh my gosh. I started looking at Day of the Dead about 19 years ago. I saw it in East LA and I just thought it was the most fascinating thing. So from there I studied it. I looked at what I was doing and said, no, this really gels with what you like and believe and feel and stuff. So I've really made it a part of my repertoire as far as what I do artistically.
Lisa's day job is coordinating various local art and creative projects for Studio 395, a nonprofit focused on the arts. It's temporarily closed due to COVID, but their first virtual show, All Things Autumn, will run September 7th through Halloween. They invite all local artists to submit their work.
And we're putting together a slideshow so we can start rolling and get some art pieces out there and show off what the local community has.
When it comes to art and artists, Riverside County has a great deal to offer. It's good to know that even in the midst of a shutdown, creativity is blossoming here.
Look for Samurai Rabbit, the Usagi Chronicles on Netflix, as well as Lisa Cabrera's outdoor exhibit in Temecula on September 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more information about where to view Lisa Cabrera's work and submitting to Studio 395's virtual art show, check out our website at spiritofinnovation.org. Here is some JDS Studio news. Another DigiFest is in the books. JDS Creative Academy, the nonprofit 501c3 organization that produces DigiFest Temecula, live streamed an 8-hour virtual DigiDay experience on Saturday, August 22nd. Here's a quick recap of all the excitement.
On August 22nd, JDS Creative Academy live streamed a DigiFest experience like no other. This jam-packed virtual DigiDay treated attendees to an abundance of information, engaging stories and presentations from industry leaders.
Thanks so much. That was so informative and entertaining.
Training.
Adobe certified trainer David Creamer is here to show us how to work with color in Adobe Premiere and After Effects.
Networking.
If you're free, head into our Zoom chat room, have attendees have that opportunity to get to know you.
Entertainment from local artists, including Southern California rock band Canaan Road. Comedic relief provided by Teddy Lane Jr.
Why do Oreos, why do Reese's, why do Doritos, why do they taste so good during COVID time?
And amazing prize drawings.
We got a winner! We got a winner!
JDS Studios took attendees through the digital doorway and the event became a virtual, interactive digital experience. Participants walked through the virtual studio to view embedded media, watched festival screenings, and dive into a digital shopping experience featuring exclusive, signed movie memorabilia. Almost 100 entries were submitted into the DigiFest Festival competition, with entries from across the globe as far as Australia, with lots of local talent represented as well. 10 Digis were awarded to outstanding digital content creators.
Digital marketing and informational. Global warming!
People's Choice Awards and honorable mentions were also presented. And like the traditional event, People's Choice voting took place in real time, with winners announced during the awards ceremony. From the first welcome to the final sign-off, DigiFest 2020 DigiDay embraced the digital in DigiFest, taking the event to the next level. What's in store for DigiFest 2021? Stay tuned!
That was a lot of fun. I can't wait for next year's. Can you believe it'll be our 5th annual? Now it's time for our Good to Know segment, where we bring you up to date on current Riverside County news and events. Labor Day is Monday, and although the holiday weekend won't be celebrated in the usual manner, let's take a look at some things you can do for fun to celebrate the long weekend. Pulp Vixen, a female-fueled rock band, will be streaming live on Facebook all weekend to celebrate Labor Day. Their first performance will be Saturday, September 5th, starting at 5 p.m. Grab your popcorn. The Autism Society of the Inland Empire is hosting a movie club through December. It is an online event that is just $30 for the 8-week session. For more information, email events@ieautism.org. This Friday, September 4th, sip and paint from your home or at Fearless, an art studio in Moreno Valley. Make new friends, enjoy great music, and kick off your long weekend in a relaxing way. For more information, visit fearless.net. Consider getting some fresh air and take advantage of the several hiking trails the county offers. A couple of my favorites are Tanaha Falls in Murrieta, Salt Creek Trail in Menifee, Mount Rubidor in Riverside, and the Deleuze Lookout in Temecula. Check them out. If you are more of a night owl and wish to escape the heat, head over to the Van Buren Drive-In for a movie night under the stars. JDSCA creative classes are happening now, but don't worry, enrollment is still open. Want to learn about backstage production? How about honing your photography skills? Interested in script writing or fashion design? These classes are taught by industry professionals and are held both in person and virtually. Call the studio for more details. Thank you for watching our special edition of Spirit of Innovation. Be sure and stay connected to our social media for our social updates and listen to the JDSCA training crew giving the Sweet Spot News on 102.5 The Vine Radio. You can find Spirit of Innovation on TV, YouTube, all social media platforms, and our website. Follow the hashtag JDS Family to stay in contact with us. And we love hearing from viewers. So So let us know if there's a Riverside County issue or a happening that you want us to cover. Thank you for watching. From all of us here at JDS Creative Academy, stay safe and healthy. SOI out.